If you want to know how to set up your YouTube channel for growth, then stick around. I'm Jeremy Mason and I'm all about helping business owners, entrepreneurs and marketers alike get the very most out of video to help them grow their businesses. I'm a filmmaker and video marketer with over 20 years experience in broadcast TV, but that's more than enough about me. In this live YouTube tutorial, I take my friend, author and screenwriter Mark Stay through the process of optimizing his YouTube channel in real time. So let's dive in. Let's have a look at your YouTube channel.
Oh, I knew it would come to this.
Because I think what I'd like to do now is to go through and offer some housekeeping tips and some YouTube tips.
There I am, 29 subscribers.
You see, you are smashing it. Right now, so immediately you've got that real estate at the top of the page, what's called above the fold.
Yes.
Now we've just been talking about the cover art. And knowing what I know, that's obviously part of your cover art. However, someone who's got no idea who you are, what does that say to them?
That says to them, Mark didn't have the time to do a proper banner and just plonked that up there as a placeholder until Jeremy told him what he had to do properly. That's what that says.
It's so critical to get the banner right. Okay, because it's, as I say, it's the first thing people will see, and a lot of people will decide on that basis, is this something that is targeted at me or not? So I'm sure there's something you could probably do with the cover art in a slightly different way. It's really good in one sense that it's red and it's very arresting, but there's no copy on it. I can't see, you know, in the middle here, there's just this lovely lady on her bike. What you want to be communicating is you want to echo what your channel name is, and you want to put a strap line in there as to what you do. And ideally within that, you want to start thinking, this is again what we're saying about knowing who your audience is. You want to be putting stuff in there that's an identifier, so that people who are authors or fans of Terry Pratchett or whatever it is that you're trying to, anyone who would like your product or your service, this would go for, they'll immediately go, oh yes, this is for me. So you want to have some kind of channel, you want to have something that identifies your channel. In your case, it's your name. You need to sort of put a strap line in as to what it is that they will find on your channel. And then the other good thing to do is to, for example, say something like, you know, new videos every week or new videos twice a week, and then say, you know, it's on a Monday and a Tuesday or a Monday or whatever it is, so that people know that you're going to regularly upload stuff. Now, I appreciate that for what we're doing now, maybe right now is not the time to commit to a sort of schedule of uploads. So you could take that off. But when you start, I mean, on my YouTube channel, I've just said new uploads every week sort of thing, and kept it quite sort of free. But people need to know that you are uploading stuff and you're committed to uploading stuff every day. And the other thing to bear in mind when you're creating a banner is that obviously we're looking at this on a desktop. The majority of people now are looking at YouTube on their mobile phones. So the critical piece of real estate, if I can call it that, is in the center portion of the banner. So all of your stuff needs to fit in there. And it is amazing how many really good YouTube channels with lots of, you know, followers and great engagement have got their stuff left justified or right justified. So when anyone looks at it on a mobile device, it'll be cut off. Now, when you go in, and there are loads and loads of tutorials, and I suggest to people that they literally go on YouTube and look at, you know, tutorial to how to sort out your banner art. And maybe it's something I'll do on my channel kind of later on in the coming couple of weeks. When you start creating your banner art, actually YouTube allows you it gives you a preview of the kind of desktop version, and then this is what it looks like on mobile. But just be aware, I think a lot of times people forget that you know, whether it's websites or YouTube channels, most people now are browsing on mobile devices. So you need to think in those terms about, delivering your content in a way that is, going to be so easy for people to browse online now. So that's the banner. So definitely have a look at that. Now, you mentioned earlier, Mark, about Fiverr and Upwork and people like, there's some really good platforms out there, outsourcing platforms. You can get banner art done for, a few dollars. And these are people that just do that. So they're kind of experts at it. So if you go to fiverr.com or upwork.com, these platforms are fantastic. They take a little bit of a while to get used to the sort of functionality behind them. And also the other thing I would say and caution, I suppose, is you need to invest time in creating a really, really specific and tight briefs. I mean, not pants, obviously, I'm talking about marketing side of things, just because yeah, exactly.
I'll take them off now.
Obviously these, take your tight briefs off right now. No, this is going in a direction I didn't necessarily want it to, but anyway, you need to bear in mind that a lot of these people aren't native English speakers, so you need to be super clear with what you want. But on Fiverr and things like that, you'll get a really good idea of what their previous work looks like and everything else. Again, maybe this is something that we can look at later on. Now, looking at your home page, if you go back to home, Mark. So the other thing I'm looking at is there are no playlists here. All you've got is uploads. So as a browser, that's a very good creative player.
That's lovely, isn't it?
What you need to be doing is you need to go into customize channel, and basically so that when people hit this page, they're seeing a selection of playlists, because obviously, you're creating all this content, and like we can see here, you've got stuff about the Crowfolk, End of Magic, and then obviously there's the Mark Stay Right stuff, your writer services sort of thing. It's a real melange of stuff going on there. And I don't know, for example, if I'd come from a Twitter post that you'd done about the Crowfolk and I hit this page, you're sort of making people work harder than they need to. Yeah. The whole point is we've got goldfish attention spans. You need to make it super easy. And that's, like I was saying about the banner, you need to spell it out to people. This is what you'll get from this channel. This is why you should invest time in spending time on this channel and watching these videos. So what I would say is, like priority job, banner. Second thing is to create or make in the customize channel tab, go in there and make sure that you create playlists, which are, well, obviously it would be your books, so your End of Magic stuff, your Crowfolk stuff. I'd then make sure that the Crowfolk, because it's your latest thing, put that at the top of this thing, at the top of the screen. And then, if you want to do your writing services stuff, maybe do that sort of lower down the page. But basically, with these playlists, once you're into the customized channel thing, you can actually change the order that they appear in. Right. So I would definitely do that, so that instantly, as people come to your page, they go, okay, right, there's a load about the Crowfolk, there's a load about this, and this, and it's very quick for them to find what they want. This is my channel loading up very slowly through steam-powered rural internet. but actually, the point is, so okay, now I'm not in love with my banner. Can I just say this? But this I paid, I think, probably $10 for, and right. you can definitely see that I spent $10. But the point is, all of the stuff, all of the important bits are kind of in the middle of the banner. Also, this is a good thing to do. If there's a box in it, in terms of when you go in to customize your channel, you get all these options to create links to your social profile, to your website, that kind of thing. That's always very good. So yeah, I mean, the copy is certainly not going to set the world alight. It's fairly perfunctory, but it tells you what it is. As I say, this I did when I started. I'm not massively proud of it. It could do with an update, but it gives you an idea of where to start. Now, all of this good stuff here, which you can see all the stats, you wouldn't see unless you've got this thing called TubeBuddy, which I can talk about later. But anyway, in terms of the structure, do you see straight away you've got with the playlists here, it's telling you what it is, and it tells you again when you go into customized channel and everything, and you can set up these playlists. You've got something like 3,000 words you can put in. Don't put 3,000 words in. Put 2 lines in, because you want to optimize it for this view, basically. So it's sort of title, does what it says on the tin, tells people what they're going to get out of it. The other thing that's really important, Mark, which I think you should probably do, certainly for the Crow folk stuff, is when anyone, you get the option to put a sort of introductory video or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
I would definitely, and in your case, I mean, so for me, it's, you know, an intro into what we do. I think that it's almost like a featured video thing. So you get 2 versions.
Trailer there.
Yeah. So you get 2 versions. You get one version which you're allowed to do when people first go to your when they first go to your YouTube channel. So you get a choice of what you put there. So, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. But then when people come back, they get served up with another one. Now, this is my second one, because obviously it knows that I've been to this YouTube channel a few times. So as I say, you've got the option straight away of serving up 2 different sorts of video content straight away to people, which, you know, it sticks out like a thumb, does it? Sore thumb. It's really sort of prominent on the page. So definitely do that. And then there's a lot of channels that overlook that, and it's crazy. You want to use as much of this real estate as you possibly can. You know, the other thing as well is subtitling all of your content. There are 2 options. There's one called Temi.com, which is TEMI.com. And the one I use, just because of what we talk about, because it's to do with video marketing, it gets a bit jargony sometimes. There's ones which are actual humans where they do it, and it's much more accurate. Temi is about 80% accuracy. And then rev.com, rev.com, is a really, really good service. And for example, I think for something like this, you'd be looking at, you know, which is a 9-minute video, you're looking at, you know, probably about sort of $7 or $8. So obviously, you know, I've got some 53 videos, whatever I've got on here. So, you know, it mounts up in cost, but the brilliant thing about subtitles is effectively it creates a sidecar file, which is the text file that sort of sits alongside the actual video file. So Google spiders obviously can't see what's in the video file, because it's an MP4 file or whatever you've uploaded, or .mov or whatever. Google can't read that. It's got no idea what's in it. But as soon as you put subtitles and it's attached like a sidecar file, as I say, to the actual video file, the Google spiders can then read what's in your video, and therefore you're benefiting from all of those, all of that content that you talk about will then get ranked. So the other thing, which was in this discussion for maybe a next session, will be the whole discussion around key words, key phrases, going to find out, you know, what people that are likely to like your book, what kind of stuff are they searching for, so that your content gets shown in front of those eyes. You know, but as I say, we'll talk about that maybe next week in a little bit more detail.
With regards to subtitles, I used a thing called Subly, which you get so many minutes a month free. It was very easy to use. It was fairly accurate, but it's one of these things, once you upload it's an SRT file to
that's
YouTube,
right.
You can go in and edit the thing, and it's an absolute doll. I think YouTube you can generate subtitles just using YouTube's AI, and from what I can see, it seems okay actually. And again, you can go in and edit these, and it's
certainly not. It's got a lot better than it was. It's got a lot better than it was. So in terms of, you know, let's just pop into a video. So when you're actually talking about the video itself, you've got various bits of it. You've obviously got the title here. This might be different, Mark, for the Crow folk, although we need to have a little, we should have a little experiment with this. But basically, the bottom line is what you want to do is make sure that your titles are laced with keywords or a keyword, so that YouTube then knows, oh, well, it's about growing your business in this case, or it's to do with YouTube. Do you see what I mean? So it may be that you have your title, the Crow folk, and then you do a dash, and then you say something like, Terry Pratchett, whatever it is, so that you're benefiting from links that you'll be getting from, that.
How does that different from, is that more important than the text in the description? Because I would be inclined to put all that Pratchett stuff sort of below the line in the description as text. Does that make a difference?
It's weighted, so the title is slightly higher up the pecking order.
Right.
But if you put it in here in the description, it would still have an effect on the SEO side of things. It's sort of a bit of an aesthetic thing, I think. And like I say, because it's a, obviously if I was just doing a service, then it doesn't jar as much having all of that kind of caper in the title. So it's a little bit like, well, if it feels too silly as a title, putting that kind of those references in your Crow folk title, and it sort of diminishes the look and feel of it, then let's not do it.
Because I'm thinking that certainly with the Halloween one that's going out, so we have Halloween, that's a keyword. I think maybe something like first reading or something like that, or exclusive or something like that. But I would put the blurb in the description, because the blurb has all, Simon & Schuster have designed the blurb to have all those keywords in there. So I'm thinking of putting that in the description as well.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and when you're talking about descriptions, so many people don't bother or don't do enough, or don't put the right sort of things in their descriptions. You need to hook people in, right? So as you see here, so this section here, the first literally 3 lines of copy that go in your description, those you'll see that if you're on a mobile device or you're looking at the thing, that is where you need to hook your viewers in. Okay. And that is also where you need to put at least 2 or 3 keywords in. The thing with keywords is you can start to write in a really unnatural way, which if you're starting to do that, take some keywords out, because you shouldn't, the YouTube algorithm and Google's algorithm is really intelligent. It can spot keyword jamming, like if you're just stuffing keywords into copy so it doesn't really read very well, they now get that and they understand that, and they'll mark you down for it. So make it sound natural, but just just do a little bit of keyword research. Again, guys, we'll look at that next week, and I'll tell you how to do it next week. But the key takeout here really is these first 3 lines need to hook in your audience. And then again, I know this is different because it's a very different niche. With things like your YouTube channel description and your video descriptions as well, you need to, people are choosing to invest their time with us, right? We need to tell them what they're going to get out of spending time watching our content. So now for me, it's easier because I'm doing informational type videos. So I literally say, you'll learn, and list off the kind of things that they're going to learn. So people very quickly can go on that description and they go, okay, is this something I'm interested in looking at? Yes, no, 3 bags full. Good, but I've not wasted any of their time. Listen, I really hope you found this useful. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if there's anything you want me to cover off in future videos, just let me know. I'm all about spreading knowledge and good vibes, so if you know someone who could benefit from this video, please share it with them. Also, if you fancy it, a cheeky like and subscribe to the channel would be amazing. I'd really appreciate your support. Stick around for part 2 of this real-life YouTube tutorial, filmed 7 days after this, where we delve deeper into more YouTube optimization tips. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.